Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Scorpio energy. For this round of 12 zodiac sign readings, I am using the Intuit Oracle 2nd edition. So we're going to get some of these cards out, get some clarifiers on it to fill out the story of what might be going on in Scorpio energy. And we're going to read it from the perspective of, depending on if people are harnessing high vibe Scorpio energy or low vibe Scorpio energy. People who harness high vibe Scorpio energy are people who are willing, we're emotionally complex human beings. And Scorpio is like exploring the mysteries of life, the deep emotions that we can feel. I kind of think we're a soul who came here to experience life. Otherwise, we're kind of like an energy life form who can read about pain and love and all that, but we can't really experience it unless we come down to earth to inhabit a body and really get to experience it. And people that are high vibe Scorpio are willing to explore the mysteries of life. They don't give up on their dreams that they had as children about wanting to have love and passion and being creative and being inspired and believing in their dreams. And people that are in shadowy Scorpio energy might be people who have kind of detached from their emotions and their dreams. They've maybe made life more about money and materialism or emotional defensiveness. They basically have lessons to learn in life. The universe is always trying to make people realize that life is about love. It's about believing in yourself and encouraging yourself every day to believe in yourself. And some people have gotten hurt and they operate more from pride and ego and emotional defensiveness, decide they're going to give up on their dreams and live an emotionally shallow life. So, anyway, we have Messenger, a card about, the Magician, and about communication, and the Heart, Woman, and the Fox. And the reason for the reading is the Archer, which makes me think of Sagittarius energy. So some of you could be a Sagittarius, no Sagittarius, or you're it could be just the different way people harness their Sagittarius energy. 2, people in shadowy Sagittarius energy are people who kind of are players in life. Again, they're kind of maybe shadowy Scorpio energy. They look at life as to be indulged in. That would kind of be our more beastly nature, is our prideful, egotistical, selfish, immature, indulgent nature. And people who harness shadowy Scorpio would harness shadowy Sagittarius energy, where they're kind of an immature player. They get in relationships and create the illusion that they're loving and just and fair and loyal and committed, but it's kind of just an illusion. Is to indulge himself in the relationship for as long as it works out for them, for their pride, their ego, their image, or status, or whatever. And when the people in their relationships want them to grow and learn and mature themselves, they will end the relationship. So we have the Archer, which says careful aim, on target, shoot, go-to guy or gal, direct, quick, precise, focus, matchmaker, implement a strategy. So I think there's some people right now who, because we also have the Fox out here, which is about people being deceptive and manipulative, some people like to be indulged in a relationship. So some people are planning to communicate, it looks like, with someone. The shadowy people are wanting to deceive someone, and the high vibe people know that to be open and honest and loving is a free will choice, and they look at life as an adventure to be lived. They don't get caught up. They've educated themselves. Sagittarius is about educating yourself about belief system and philosophies, so that you don't get caught up in your pride, your ego, your fear, your insecurity, because relationships don't work out, or people have hurt you, or people are unkind, and they go with the flow of the universe and look at life as an adventure to be lived. And maybe they have someone in sights that they would also like to be in a relationship with, maybe a Gemini, because the Lover's card is Gemini energy. So let's go see what we got here. We got Mercury, messenger of the gods, communication and ideas, talkative expression, thoughts. The Magician card. And the Magician card is Gemini Virgo energy, which is about what am I going to align with within myself that I think I will be able to align with to manifest my dreams into reality. Again, Gemini energy. What am I going to love? Am I going to align with love and hope and faith and belief in myself and my dreams and believe I can manifest my dreams into reality? Listen to my intuition, believe in myself and believe in others? Or am I going to align with living more from my mind, making my life more about the world, making my life more about ego and image and status and materialism instead of love? And basically manipulate people and create an illusion that I'm loving and kind and all that and dedicated and committed, but I'm not really. So there are some people right now who are in shadowy Scorpio energy that want to take action maybe towards a Libra or Taurus, and this can be male or female. The feminines in tarot can just talk about someone's emotional state, and the kings in tarot can talk about how people are taking action in the world or how they present themselves. There is someone right now who thinks they can manipulate people to get what they want. They will maybe use their sexuality. They are got their eye on someone, maybe a Libra or Taurus, but this is someone from their past who is either loving and nurturing and just and fair and balanced, or has money and materialism. And they want that person to exchange resources with them since they're shadowy energy. Maybe a little bit more materialistic, because they might want to be a marriage partner to that person because they're kind of immature and they don't know how to nurture and love themselves, and they're defensive of giving birth to anything new. So they like to repeat the same patterns of the past that they've grown up with. And if they were in relationships with loving people who truly were high vibe Taurus, Libra, Taurus energy, people who are loving, just, fair, committed, loyal, and dedicated, who nurture and believe in themselves and know their worth and value, who had maybe wanted to exchange resources with this person and be in an equal give and take, just and fair relationship. And the high vibe people were people who spoke their truth. This person turned their back on them, because what we reject inside ourselves is what we reject outside ourselves. And this person in shadowy Aries energy, they like to be emotionally shallow in shadowy Scorpio energy. They don't like to go in their deep emotions. They don't like to be connected in with their emotions or listening to their intuition. They want to do things the way they've done things because they know how to do it. They know how to maybe be successful at it. And if they were already in a relationship with loving people and they rejected those people because they don't want to be just and fair in a relationship. They don't want to treat others the way they want to be treated. They like, maybe in their Aries fire energy, shadowy, it's all about their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their ego, their emotional defensiveness. It's not about being just and fair and nurturing and loving and committed and loyal and dedicated. They're defensive. They're probably someone who likes to be in relationships that are more transactional. Like, well, I give you this and you give me that, okay? Oh, and by the way, I emotionally love money and the world and indulging myself in the things of the world. And I'm immature and I'm defensive to being high vibe. I'm defensive to being just and fair and loyal and committed and creative and inspired and loving. I like to do things the way I've always done it. I like to get in relationships that are more transactional. And maybe have the person I get in a relationship with be nurturing and loving to me, I can stay in my shadow nature of immaturity, selfishness, greed, wantingness, self centeredness, and people indulge me like a mother would in that relationship. So, someone right now wants to go manipulate someone to get that person to probably exchange financial resources and indulge them in a relationship. They want that to become a marriage partner to that person. So, with the heart, we have love, romance, joy, bliss, content, affection, fulfillment, forgiveness, passion, caring. This person, what they love is the world and things of the world, not love. That's not what drives and motivates them. The Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. That's their truth. The Pentacle suit is like the world, things of the world. This person's foundation loves money and materialism and status and image and greed and lust and indulgence. Their foundation is very worldly focused, and they have an idea that they want to work together with someone who has money and materialism. Capricorn energy, Virgo energy, and so they could be thinking of making an offer to someone, maybe to a woman, but that person could be defensive. So, like I say, for some, they could want to, either way, you got to be careful. If someone looks back to you, you could be a loving person and they want to exchange resources with you and make you their wife because you are very loving and giving and they want you to indulge them. They might be thinking of making you an offer, but you're defensive to them because you've already maybe learned that you need to have good boundaries against this person because they are selfish and greedy and wanty and indulgent. And it was overwhelming to be in a relationship with them because they're overwhelmed by their wanty nature. The Wands is fire energy, and this person's in King of Wands energy, male or female. They're very overwhelmed by the things that they want and lust and greed after. And you've already learned that being in a relationship with them is overwhelming. And for others, you could be someone in their past. And if you're someone who has money and materialism, they might want to get in a relationship with you for those reasons. And they might make you an offer. And you also might be someone, I don't know, maybe you're kind of someone who is a little more focused on worldliness also in shadowy Scorpio energy. And you found it overwhelming to be in a relationship with this person too, because you found it overwhelming. They could just be very wanty. So then we have the Fox card. You high vibe people who have dealt with someone like this in your life, it comes after the Woman card here. So I think there's someone who wants to manipulate someone. And the Fox card is the two different about the people that they're going to make an offer to. We'll read this from a different storyline in a moment, but for the people that want to manipulate someone, they're going to make an offer to someone who for one, the high vibe people are very bright and smart, which is what the Fox could be about. Those people could have be someone who's like, no, I have put an end to mothering you. I have my sights on love. And your definition of love and my definition of love is differently. I might have love for you. Excuse me. I might have love for you, but because the Queen of Cups can be that you do have love for someone and mutual love for someone, but you know, if you've already been in a relationship with this person and you know that in a relationship you're the one who realizes to be open and honest and loving and giving and all that is a free will choice, and the other person's in shadowy Sagittarius energy who's like, yeah, I want to come indulge in your lovingness. Oh, but by the way, it's all about me. I don't really give in return. I'm kind of emotionally defensive. I'm kind of emotionally shallow, but I like to indulge myself in you. It's like, yeah, no. If you haven't gotten out of your prideful, egotistical, selfish, immature way of living life and more connected in with your emotions and your intuition to be open and honest and loving and looking at life as an adventure to be lived instead of you being immature and indulging yourself, I have no interest. For others, there could be someone who is also in shadowy Scorpio energy, a female, who would like to be in a relationship with this person because people who are in shadowy energy are more about, oh, selfishness, greed, manipulation, jealousy, envy. So they could have someone in their life who has money and materialism who would be willing to get in a relationship with them. But the reason they would want to be in a relationship with them is to backstab the loving people that this person has the option to be in a relationship with, for one. For other people, they want to be in a relationship with them, but they're being deceptive and manipulative. They operate from their mind and they don't connect in with love either. They could be someone who also wants to be in a relationship with someone who indulges them. So now we could have this person could know if they get in a relationship with that person that that person's just like them. You know, they're kind of immature, they're kind of a player. It's like having a 5 and an 8-year-old in a relationship, and both of them are selfish, greedy, manipulative, prideful, egotistical, stubborn. And they could, for some of them, they could have illusions about someone. They think that the person they want to get in a relationship with is loving, but the person they think is loving is actually someone who wants to be in a relationship with them for reasons other than love. Let's go ask why. For this person in their Aries energy, what is their motivation for wanting to reunite with someone from their past? That person offered them a new financial beginning secretly if they would reunite with them. So the bottom of the deck is why the reading came out. In Sagittarius energy with wand energy, that can be communication. Someone could have communicated to someone that they wanted to have a new beginning with them. And this person right now could be contemplating their offer to reunite with them. They are attracted to the person. For some of them, if they were in or are in a marriage relationship because they're turning their back on the Queen of Pentacles, and the Pentacle suit is the only suit of the deck that's married, some of them could have turned their back on a marriage partner where they could have given birth to a new life. But because they're tempted by worldliness and money and materialism and status and image, they could have gotten the idea to turn their back on the loving people that they might have had a long-term foundation with, who were willing to work together with them, and decided emotionally to be defensive to those people because they're either overwhelmed by responsibilities or the things of the world, their own lust, greed, selfishness, immaturity, defensiveness, that they right now are deciding to backstab and betray love in order to go get in a relationship with someone else because they've decided the other one is offering them money. So what we reject inside of us is what we reject outside of us. And they've decided, I am not going to align with my own deep emotional nature. I instead am going to be driven by my more beastly nature of lust, greed, selfishness, insecurity, emotional defensiveness. And someone in their past is offering to reunite with them and offering them money to do so. So they're thinking, I will go work with that person. I will be defensive to the basically the loving aspects within themselves that are trying to get them to move forward in truth, and the other people in their life that are trying to make them align with hope and faith and belief in themselves and, truth. Because even this Ace of Pentacles and the person offering to reunite with them could be people offering them sex, drugs, gambling. It's about indulging themselves in the world, or pride, or ego, or selfishness, or greed. And just as they have this spiritual warfare within themselves of what I'm going to do, they also have people in their life who represent these different aspects of themselves, just like we all do. And sadly, some people right now in their Aries energy are betraying their own loving Scorpio nature and looking at life as an adventure to be lived and believing in themselves and deciding, I will go get in a relationship and have sex basically with someone because of money and materialism and status and image, or indulging in drugs and alcohol, or, maybe too, it can be that they're used to being in relationships where people do use their emotions manipulatively. And if you didn't know that this is someone who kind of does that, where they're kind of emotionally manipulative, they're passive aggressive, they're kind of immature, they wouldn't be tempted by people making them this offer unless that is something that kind of appeals to them and living their life that way. And they are someone who also likes to offer their things of the world, their looks, their sex, their money, their, the drugs and alcohol they can give other people, image, status. They also are someone who likes to use their resources of the world instead of love. That's how they also like to deal in relationships. I will offer you these things of the world that I have that aren't love in order to get people to work together with them. And then in that relationship, they can kind of be emotionally manipulative, passive aggressive, immature, selfish, greedy. They're not ready. They have lessons to learn. They don't want to connect in with love. They don't want to put in the time, energy, and effort to balance themselves out, to know their own worth and value and protect like their own inner child nature of truth. They're not willing to invest the time, energy, and effort to balance themselves out, to offset their fearful, insecure, selfish, greedy nature with love. And so they have lessons to learn. They're going to get in a relationship with someone, and basically the divine knows people's hearts. And if the divine knows this person in your work group, friend group, family group, sibling, whatever, aren't ready to move forward with you and be just and fair and balanced, the divine needs them out of your life because you are ready to move forward. And the divine wants you to see the truth of this person, and it might be painful. This person might be deceptive and manipulative about how they go about ending the relationship with you, because of course they might want to protect their pride and ego and image and status, because that's what's important to them, not love. So they're going to have to get in a relationship because they haven't learned the lesson about love. And this person is probably going to get in a relationship with this person because either they want to still be indulged in a relationship, and the high vibe people aren't enabling this person anymore and aren't indulging them. They want justice and fairness and balance, openness, honesty, love. And this person doesn't free willingly choose that. They want things the way they want it. They want to either be indulged, or they're more in the Empress energy, focused on money and materialism. So their heart, what's that saying? Something about where your heart is I don't know what you love, something like that. This person loves money and materialism. So that person is right now, for some reason, they're still looking back at this person in their past. They are kind of maybe feeling overwhelmed about backstabbing and betraying the loving people in their life. But for the people who don't win this spiritual battle within themselves, it's going to be reflected in their outside world. They're going to backstab and betray loving people in their life to take action towards someone I would definitely say it's someone from their past, or someone who is like their past. And people of their past, it's like hanging out with the other people who are just like other people. For the people who have learned their lessons, because their own inner nature of truth is defensive of them getting in this relationship, because they know it's not something to be proud of. They wouldn't be acting with character and integrity and honesty. They'd be getting in a relationship for purposes other than love, for money and material. For the people who put in some work and effort within their foundation to go within to gain insight and understanding about the truth, about what their truth is. Because some people, we all grow up in the world thinking life is about money and materialism and status and image, and we can be swayed by that because, it's tempting. The people who win the spiritual battle are the people emotionally who will learn to have good boundaries up against their more beastly, materialistic, selfish, greedy nature. And those people will give it everything they've got to put an end to being deceived by people who maybe claim to say that they love them, but these people aren't offering a cup of love. They're offering money and materialism and status and image, if this person will work together with them emotionally. So it's kind of like this person knows too that this person might want to be in a relationship to indulge himself, that it's not based on love. And the people who learn to have good boundaries against their own beastly nature, those people are going to put an end to being deceived by that aspect of themselves, because they have connected in with their emotions and intuition, and they don't want to be in relationships anymore where it is about them indulging themselves, because it's really not a fulfilling relationship. And the reason why some of those people might do it is because there might be a Sagittarius that they love. They could have their eye on a Gemini. But if they know there's people in their life who are creative and inspired and loving and look at life as an adventure to be lived, they want to go be in a relationship with those people. And so, just like you, if any of you, some of you could have passion for someone in your past and you're tempted, you're kind of, the magician can be, temptation and illusion. Some of you could have some temptation about someone in your past, maybe a Libra or a Taurus, male or female, that you could be attracted towards, but you, high vibe people, are putting in work and effort to stay balanced within yourself and not give in to your more lustful nature. And in your Taurus energy, you're taking time emotionally to invest in yourself and to be grounded, to be practical, to know your worth and value. Because you do want to give birth to new things in your life. And if you know this person in your past is kind of a player, well, that's not gonna, you'd be investing in something that you already know isn't going to go anywhere. So you are kind of protecting your future and your inner truth of what you want in your future. And what you want in your future is loving, just, fair, committed, loyal people. So listening to your heart and intuition, your foundation is investing in your foundation, learning and growing and maturing and looking to the future and investing in staying focused on truth and honesty and clarity and justice, equal give and take and love. You can love people, but if they're an immature player, even though you might have passion or attraction towards them, it wouldn't reap the harvest that you want until they quit being an immature player and align with love and do all the work you've done. Then they're like just someone who's tempting. And you've learned some lessons already from probably having been involved with this person. So you are keeping focused on the future. Emotionally, you are taking creative, inspired action to have good boundaries against this person in your past and your own kind of selfish, greedy, indulgent nature, that part of you would like to go indulge yourself with that person, because you already know and have learned that it's overwhelming being in a relationship with them. Being in a relationship with someone who's immature and not loving and open and honest and authentic is overwhelming. So you are continuing to move forward and you're giving it everything you've got to put an end to being deceived by people who you might have love towards. Because if it's not a mutually loving relationship and the other person is deceptive, manipulative, they'd be in your life right now, putting in work and effort, being open and honest and authentic with you, if that's what they really valued. You see, you get in relationships with people and people who are in shadowy energy. When you want them to be put in work and effort to be open and honest and authentic and emotionally vulnerable, they say no. And they decide to take a risk to try to get the scales to tip in their favor, where they choose not to be open and honest and loving and be putting in work and effort with you today, hoping that because you feel betrayed, basically using the love that you have for them to try to manipulate you into indulging them in a relationship where they don't have to grow up, mature themselves, quit being selfish and greedy and immature. And because they know you love them, they're trying to use the love that you have for them against you. where they can still stay deceptive and manipulative. Otherwise, they'd be in your life right now they never would have walked away. But they don't want to do a relationship being emotionally vulnerable or where they have to treat you the same way you treat them. They want to be more the center of attention and everyone orients around them, their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their being spoiled basically, and are emotionally defensive or whatever. And you're like, I'm not going to be deceived by someone who tries to use the love I have for them against me. That is cruel. That is not love. And every day this person has been using the love that you have for them against you goes to show how deeply prideful, stubborn, selfish, greedy, wounded they are. They have someone in their life who they probably knows loves them, but they're not willing to communicate and be bold and confident and be open and honest in love. So you're giving it everything you have to have a new beginning. This isn't love. This is someone who's either very selfish and greedy or very wounded. And they've got a lot of life lessons to learn, lessons that you've already learned, and they haven't. Let's go see what some of those lessons are. What are some of the lessons that these people who operate from deep Scorpio emotions, what have those people not learned? Oh, about pride and ego and about love, because we either see the truth and we choose to live our life being open and honest and loving, or in our pride and ego, we choose to be in denial that it's about love. And we think in our self-centeredness, our emotional defensiveness, our pride and ego, that we can emotionally manipulate people to do things the way we want. So, don't get caught up. I mean, some people are just selfish and greedy and egotistical, and Sagittarius energy again. I would say there's some wounding behind it, right? I mean, because when we maybe all as children, unless you were born like a psychopath or sociopath, that we all wanted as children to be in relationships with people, and we thrive and grow in relationships where people are loving and nurturing and supportive and encouraging. And for some reason, I don't know, maybe this person really was spoiled as a child, and they think, yes, I believe that, and it should be all about me. But they don't give of themselves. Maybe they've never learned how to give of themselves. And they are someone who can be extremely stubborn in relationships, maybe very prideful and egotistical, that other people should just try to balance out their emotions about them being the way that they are. They don't ever have to balance themselves out. They don't have to offset their greedy, selfish, fearful, insecure nature. Very much, I would say, self-centered. And when you're emotionally defensive and self-protective, you're very emotionally self-centered. It's all about you, your fears, your insecurities. I could get hurt. And it's not really taking into account that the other people who are in relationships, they don't want to be hurt either, And then there's the people who right now have the opportunity to align with their own loving nature and other people who are loving in their life, but they're choosing to keep sabotaging that because they're still looking back at someone from their past who could be communicating with them and offering them a new beginning. Let's ask the person who's offering them a new financial beginning in the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. Could be an Earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. that person's foundation from a worldly aspect in Capricorn energy, they're communicating with this person maybe because they either want this person to get in relationship with them because that would make them be surrounded by luxury in life, or because they want this person to come back and get in relationship with them and treat them like the pampered person. And maybe if they have money and materialism and they are people who offer the things of the world that they have, they then think they should be the pampered person in a relationship. And this person, maybe they view this person as loving. And it's like, I want you to come get in a relationship with me. I want you to backstab and betray the loving people in your life and make me look like I'm the pampered person or something. I don't know. Let's go ask, why is this person defensive to this person in their past who is offering them money and materialism? Because of the King of Swords, because of the Five of Pentacles. They might be defensive to this person because they could know the truth. That if they get in a relationship with this person, that they would feel left out in the cold in that relationship because this person isn't offering them a cup of love. They're offering them money. And this person is tempted by it, but they're kind of defensive because, and for some of them, they have been kind of defensive to it, but for some of them, they will be deceived by their own shadowy Scorpio nature that says, you know what? Life's just about death, sex, taxes. We're going to have sex with someone in a relationship. Let's go have sex with them. And we'll have the money, the materialism, the status, and the image. And some people, because they financially might feel left out in the cold, like they don't have enough stability and security in their life, they might decide to ignore their intuition, and they will be deceived by their more worldly nature to get in a relationship for that other reason. For those who do not succumb to temptation, who put an end to their emotional connection, and this might be a pattern of their past, or kind of like people in their family have done relationships for those kind of reasons, where you kind of get relationships that really aren't based on love, but because of stability and security and image and status, they get relationships. For the people who overcome this pattern, this generational curse, tell us about those people. Libra energy, justice, and the Page of Pentacles. The people who basically aren't willing to sell their soul for money, materialism, drugs, alcohol, whatever, those people want to have the justice they deserve in life, and it's a free will choice. Who and what are you going to invest your time, energy, and effort into? And the high vibe people who overcome their fears or insecurities or their lust or their greed or their selfish nature, those people have decided, I want the justice I deserve. And that is, to build the life I've always dreamed of having. And that's looking at life as an adventure to be lived and to be working together with other people who are creative and inspired and loving, and not make money or image or status be the decision maker in my life. I want to make decisions in my life from love. So, if any of you have had to deal with someone like this, I can't remember all what I said, but I think you move forward. You've learned to have good boundaries against this person. You have detached from this person, and you are looking at life as an adventure to be lived. And if some of you, sometimes the people who tempt us to repeat patterns of the past, Well, anybody who's not encouraging us to believe in our dreams and to invest our time and energy and effort into loving people, those people are trying to instill fear and insecurity and doubt in us. And sometimes those people can be a mother figure, a Scorpio, someone in our past who we have deep affection for. But if those people are trying to tempt us to align with our more base nature and they're not offering us love, but they're trying to appeal to our fearful, insecure, selfish, greedy, materialistic, addicted nature, those people are doing it for their own deceptive reasons, either because they want to emotionally manipulate you, they want to control you, they're not living their life being bold and brave and confident, they're not being bold and confident to be in relationships with loving people. They probably aren't open and honest and authentic either. They create illusion in relationships. They like to emotionally manipulate people. And other people who didn't move forward and live their life boldly and confidently, they don't like to see other people in their life go live the life of their dreams because they didn't. Come back here, align with us. Don't go do that, honey. I think you should backstab and betray those loving people. I'm not sure if you'll have the stability and security. You should go marry this person or that person. They're more like us, honey. It's like, yeah, if I want a fake relationship like you got, maybe, might have stability and security, but are you happy? Are you in love? So the high vibe people are going to move forward. The low vibe people are going to backstab the loving people in order to make their decision more about money and materialism and pride and ego. And they're going to feel overwhelmed, but they're going to defend that relationship because they feel left out in the cold and they're operating more from pride and ego. So there we go, Scorpio. Watch and see what decisions people make. I will see you next time. Bye bye.